Under Biden, Americans' cost of living skyrocketed. Food, housing, auto insurance. Lawsuit abuse is a big reason everything's more expensive today. Frivolous lawsuits cost working Americans over $4,000 a year in hidden taxes. President Trump understands the problem. That's why he supports loser pays legislation to stop lawsuit abuse and put thousands back in the pockets of hardworking Americans. It's time to make America affordable again. It's time to support the president's plan.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. By the time you hear about a data breach, your information has already been exposed for months. On average, companies take 277 days to report a breach. That's 9 months where hackers have access to your personal data. That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Aura is an all-in-one digital safety solution that monitors the dark web for your phone number, email, and social security number, sending real-time alerts if your info is found. It also includes a VPN, password manager, and data broker removal to help keep you safe. For a limited time, Aura is offering a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and protect your loved ones. That's AURA.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.
Hello, guys, and welcome to another new episode of Hollywood Gold. I'm your host, Daniela Taplin Lundberg. I'm here with my right hand, Vanessa Mendal.
Hi.
And my left, our producer, Andrew, is with us today. I'm so psyched.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Oh, my God. He's going to really bring some real, pop culture references, because we realize, Vanessa, that we've just done, a real quick tutorial on the movies coming out this summer. I just watched, 10 trailers in a row, thanks to Andrew. And there's a lot of things I wasn't aware of. The one thing for certain, Vanessa and Andrew, is that there is very little original IP in the marketplace. A lot of remakes, but I think we can say that they all feel kind of inventive and they're trying to be different.
Yeah. It feels kind of fresh seeing a Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I haven't wanted to see the other ones.
Yeah.
And now this kind of feels like something new. Final Destination feels new.
Yeah. Thunderbolts feels really edgy and you were just saying, Andrew, that Thunderbolts has actually now been being called the New Avengers. Mm-hmm. And we didn't know that until this week.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's really cool because what other movies change their marketing after the movie is released?
It's so wild.
Yeah.
I guess they were kind of waiting to see if it worked. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, all right, this worked. People went to see this. It's good. Jake Shire is obviously a really inventive filmmaker. That was a really cool cast, but not necessarily huge stars, with the exception of maybe Florence Pugh.
Right.
It wasn't the biggest stars in Hollywood.
I think people are starting, at least the studios are starting to get really inventive. It feels like they were kind of following a formula for 10 years, and that formula the last 3-4 years hasn't really worked. So I think whoever up there has made a decision that they're going to just try and be inventive. And a lot of these stories like Thunderbolts, I haven't gone to see it yet, but it's doing something really simple and it's not overcomplicating it. And it's kind of going back to basics. And I do think that works. And then when you pair that with really clever marketing, putting the asterisks on Thunderbolts is a placeholder for a new title. And people who are big Marvel fans are waiting to understand what that secret is. What are we going to find out? Is it in the movie? And I think those little clever things are interactive forms of marketing that, for whatever reason, people have decided to employ this year. And it feels like a lot of these movies are doing that.
Well, it's so funny. We were talking to Christian Parks a couple weeks ago, guys, the head of Neon Marketing. And I think the new thing is engage with your audience, give them a mystery, give them a carrot to follow, have them get involved and challenge them a little bit with the marketing as well as the movie. Yep. And it's clear that the studios are now taking a cue from that. And so that's kind of fun. And it's great when the movie actually is good and inventive and sort of different than what you would expect. So we're very supportive of Thunderbolts here. Psyched it's doing well. Feels like something different. The next movie we're going to talk about is one that, Andrew, you're like, obviously know the whole lore of.
Yes.
Final Destination Bloodlines.
We had to bring Andrew in for this specifically.
I mean, totally. Because loyal listeners, you know I'm not like a huge horror buff. I'm like reluctantly coming to the table to like observe these movies. But I think the other thing with these genre films is they are getting more and more inventive, and they are bringing like really sort of auteur filmmakers and creators to the table, because they are the things making money. And so, you know, I get it. I'm like starting to get it. It's like, okay, what are people coming out to see? And then how do you bring the great talent to those things? And so we were just watching the Final Destination Bloodlines trailer. I
cannot wait for this one. This is like definitely on my list. I will be seeing this in theaters. If they have an IMAX screening, I would even go see it in IMAX. The blood in an IMAX is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But I love the premise. It kind of has stayed dormant for like, I think a couple years now.
John Watts is responsible for like the Spider-Man reboot. He's done like such inventive work there. He's a producer and a writer on it. And we were just saying, John Watts was a filmmaker that was discovered out of Sundance. He made this movie called Cop Car for like no money at all. And when people saw that movie in 2015, they were like, who the F is this guy? And he was immediately co-opted by the studio system. He was one of those guys that people were like, oh my God, this is like a brilliant new visionary. So I'm very, very curious about this movie. Whereas I didn't even see the first ones.
There have been like 5 of them.
Yeah.
They're the reason why I never drive behind like a logging truck. Because the second one, literally like the opening scene, because it always has a crazy inventive opening scene.
Okay.
The first
open.
It's insane. And the second one, there was like a logging truck and the logs fall off on the freeway and they're crashing into cars and causing like this huge pileup.
Oh my God.
It scared a generation of millennials. I'm convinced.
Totally. Well,
definitely did. They're the reason I don't watch horror movies.
Yeah. Well, I just remember the trailer of maybe the first one where like the kid has a vision and then the plane blows up as it's like leaving the runway.
Yes.
And that was enough to just scare me off forever.
And what was interesting was the last one that was released, whenever, I think maybe like 10 years ago, that was actually a prequel to that movie.
Oh, really?
So now they're back in the modern day and it's going to be crazy. And they always throw so many red herrings with the death too. Like in the trailer, you see like, oh my God, is he going to drink the glass? And then you like watch, he actually gets killed by like a lawnmower.
Okay.
So it just is always throwing you off at every turn.
Oh, good God. All right.
The kills are really what you go in for.
Well, I typically don't want to talk about horror, but like, I finally have to just join the
It's
party.
A spooky summer. Spooky summer.
Spooky summer, coined by Andrew. Okay. We're going to switch gears to May 23rd. Again, you guys, this is like a generational thing, but Disney is doing a lot of these like live action remakes of very, very successful animated features. I think we can all agree that the Snow White live action remake didn't quite work. I think that Disney's probably trying to pivot a bit, but it's like a little bit too late. And by the way, it seems like Lilo and Stitch is one that could really work and has like a very avid following. Mm-hmm. So I did not grow up on this animated feature like you guys did because I'm way older than you guys. But I just love Dean Fleischer Camp is like kind of a genius. He is responsible for that A24 movie that started out of those short films called Marcel the Shell.
No way.
Yeah, I was obsessed with.
Same.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah, so clever, so adorable and smart.
Oh, wow.
And so he is the director of the live action Lilo and Stitch.
I did not know that. Now I'm like,
I'm so happy.
Even more excited to go see this.
So tell me what the vibe of this. I literally watched the trailer and was like surprised, and yet it's a total remake. Yeah.
I mean, it was originally released in 2002. So me and Andrew were probably like prime children at this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's about a girl living in Hawaii. I think she doesn't have parents. She's been orphaned and she's being raised by her sister. And then he adopts a dog. And it turns out this dog is like an extraterrestrial creature that's been genetically engineered and is like built to cause chaos. He's being hunted by like the alien spaceship. Lilo adopts him and he's like, in order to survive, I'm just going to play dog. And so he plays dog for her, but his instincts are to like destroy. And the whole point of the movie, there's like a very famous quote, "Family means nobody gets left behind." So he becomes part of their family, and he starts realizing that he deserves love and wants to be with Lilo forever. So it's a very cute premise. And Lilo has like an obsession with Elvis. So she plays a lot of Elvis.
Yes.
A really cute kind of nostalgic thing. And I think a live action version of this movie has just been a long time coming. Like, I don't think anyone was waiting for the Snow White live action movie, but Lilo and Stitch is such a beloved character. And I think people my age will go see it as much as little kids will go see it. So I do think it's going to work. Like, Andrew, would you go watch this in theaters?
Absolutely. And now that I know it's by the Marcel Duchamp guy, like, absolutely. That movie is going to be so good. And I know that it overperforms, like, not overperforms, but the movie is huge overseas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
international title.
Yes. If you go to like Tokyo Disney or Shanghai Disney or any
they're
of the
obsessed
international
with Stitch.
Like the merchandise for Stitch sells out
roof. Okay.
everywhere. So
I'm going to trust you guys on this because like I did not grow up on this title at all, and I didn't have kids yet. So it's like in those in between like post college years when you're just like drinking a lot. So I'm going to trust that you guys have the right gut on this, and we're going to say that this could be a hit.
I think it's going to be the biggest movie of the summer.
Oh my God, Andrew!
Wow, Andrew.
Okay, that's your prediction.
I think there's enough millennials who have kids now.
Okay.
Who want to see it as a live action.
Yeah.
And it's accessible.
Okay.
Where they're bringing their kids and
heard it here first.
Yeah.
I have a feeling because it still leans kind of childish. Like I'm still on, I think Mission Impossible, which we'll talk about after, but I think that might do better. But I want to go against you just so we can
have a healthy
find
debate.
out the predictions.
That's what we do. Okay. So that's Lilo and Stitch. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. So I do know that at one point this was meant to be one movie that was turned into two movies. So this is the final installment of the Mission Impossible series. This is number 8.
Yeah.
And so, longtime labor of love for Mr. Tom Cruise. He keeps just doing these action films. I can't even believe it. He's like in his 60s now. He does all his own stunts, as we know. It's insane. What's your feeling on this, guys?
I mean, the stunts are crazy. And like the trailer opens with that one big stunt that he did, literally holding off the side of an airplane. It's so crazy. It's so Tom Cruise. And I think that stuff works. Like we were talking about how the other one came out during COVID, so it maybe didn't do well. So I think this will be a bit of a sleeper. I mean, it's not a sleeper, it's a Tom Cruise movie, but I think people will not be sure if audiences will come out for it. And I am 100% sure that they will, because I think it's just like, it's Tom Cruise. He's not making a lot of these movies. It's a big action movie. They're also not that deep or dark. They're like really fun and really light and easy to follow. And I just think like for a summer movie that's easy, breezy, fun, it's kind of perfect.
Yeah. I think also marketing the last one as part 1. I think we all collectively as a society are over splitting things into 2 movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Keep it one movie.
Yeah.
So when you saw Dead Reckoning Part 1, why would I want to go see Part 1 and have to wait 3 years to go see Part 2?
Right.
When I can just watch, now that this one's labeled The Final Reckoning. They got rid of the Part 2 label on it.
I think they're going to do that for Wicked too. Like, just don't make people think that like it was actually one split into 2. I think that's right.
They did. They called it Wicked for Good.
Yeah. So I think that, I was a huge Mission Impossible fan. Like, it was so funny. For a long time, Tom Cruise was not into franchise films. Like, Top Gun was not a franchise. Like, the Days of Thunder was not a franchise. He could have, and he just kept doing original films. And then with Mission Impossible, he just like went all in and launched this franchise. And it's very rare to have 8 installments of a franchise. I was a huge fan of the first one. I thought it was so good, so inventive. Loved the cast. I have just grown tired of them. And so I am not probably going to go out for it. So I'm very curious if like people who grew up on this franchise, like I did, will show up for this. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm very curious.
I know my dad is a huge fan of these movies.
Yeah.
So John Pugliese will be seeing this. He won't go see it in the theater though, but he will wait. When that comes out on demand, video on demand.
Yeah.
That's when he's going to be watching this one.
I mean, guys, we're not even into June yet. I mean, there's so many movies coming out this year. I can't believe it. And they're big movies. So the next one I'm going to mention, just because we are, a pod that really values great filmmakers, we're going to talk about The Phoenician Scheme, which is Wes Anderson's new movie. We just watched this trailer, guys. Andrew and I were chuckling quite a bit. And I think that, I love when Wes leans into his humor. Like that trailer was I would say probably 7 or 8 laughs, very clever, classic Wes Anderson laughs. I'm reminded of the Royal Tenenbaums and Rushmore in the laughs category for this. So I'm hoping it's a little bit of a return to his earlier truly humorous stuff. Because he can get a little stylized and earnest sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping this is funny.
I agree with that. I'm wondering if you feel this way. I'm getting kind of tired of the amount of cast these movies have. There's something
They're just
about it.
Such huge ensembles.
It's too much. It's he can get any actor he wants. So he's well, then I will, so I will cast everyone. But it's all of a sudden you see Tom Hanks, you see Bill Murray, you see Benedict Cumberbatch, you see Bryan Cranston, Willem Dafoe. I'm oh my God, it's kind of insane.
Layering on too many other characters, it gets a lot. Although I will say he's always kind of done that. That is Royal Tenenbaums. Although that story was a very clear story about family. And so you understood it.
Yeah. And you're stuck within just the family unit. So it's the 10 people in a house. It's not you're walking into a room and all of a sudden Bill Murray's there. That takes me out.
Playing a waiter or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Under Biden, Americans' cost of living skyrocketed. Food, housing, auto insurance. Lawsuit abuse is a big reason everything's more expensive today. Frivolous lawsuits cost working Americans over $4,000 a year in hidden taxes. President Trump understands the problem. That's why he supports loser pays legislation to stop lawsuit abuse and put thousands back in the pockets of hardworking Americans. It's time to make America affordable again. It's time to support the president's plan.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. Imagine waking up to find your bank account drained, bills for loans you never took out, a warrant for your arrest, all because someone stole your identity. Hackers aren't waiting. Why are you? That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Your personal data is a goldmine for hackers, and Aura helps lock it down. Aura monitors the dark web, blocks data brokers from selling your information, includes a VPN for private browsing, and a password manager to secure your accounts before criminals break in. For a limited time, Aura is offering our listeners a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and start protecting yourself and your loved ones. That's aura.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.
Okay, I'm curious about that. You're excited about it too, Andrew.
I am. I'm trying to get more into Wes Anderson. I just bought his filmography on Vudu. Fandango at home.
Oh my God, what does that mean?
So you could buy a whole package?
Yeah, so it's like a streaming service. Not streaming. It's I don't know. You could just buy your movies there, and you can have a digital collection of your movies.
Okay.
So,
and is there a deal on a Wes Anderson package?
Yeah.
So you bought the Wes Anderson package.
Yeah.
How much did that set you back?
It's $70-$80.
Okay. For all his movies?
It's his highlights. So The Life Aquatic.
Yeah.
Isle of the Dogs, which I really wanted to see. Mm-hmm. A whole bunch of them. So I'm trying to get into it.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Andrew, were you always a huge film lover before you became our esteemed producer?
Yes and no. Okay. I would say I definitely would have niche interest of film. Yeah. But now I feel doing this podcast, I've definitely experienced.
Oh my God, that warms my heart so much.
So.
Love you so much. Okay. That's great. Just a quick shout out to How to Train Your Dragon in the whole live action remake of animated features. This one also looks quite good.
Yeah.
I've never seen a How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Yeah. No.
You should watch it.
It's pretty inventive. Yeah.
I feel like this was on the cusp of our generation and Gen Z, where I think Gen Z is super about How to Train Your Dragon.
Interesting. Why?
I couldn't tell you. I just feel like the series is for them. The same way Shrek I think leans more millennial.
Okay.
But somehow is also like super, I don't know, in the culture where everyone talks about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've always seen like TikTok sounds using the How to Train Your Dragon music. Like they just built the whole epic universe that has a whole How to Train Your Dragon land. Like I know I'm missing something.
Yeah.
I know it's me. I have to watch the movie.
Right. but it just may not be a part of your DNA.
Exactly.
Like, that's just the deal.
Yeah.
But Vanessa, you like it.
I do. I won't say it's part of my DNA. I probably watched it. Like it came out in 2010, the original. So I probably watched it like 5 years ago. I don't think I watched it like as it was coming out, but I really love it. It's just such a sweet.
Vanessa, you're 30 and Andrew, you're how old?
I'm 34.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out like
what
generationally where you guys land.
There's so like my godchildren love How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
It's like a thing.
Right. Yeah. They're younger.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so I'm gonna mention again, like we're like the scary summer. By the way, guys, we're still in June. I should be mentioning when these movies are coming out. How to Train Your Dragon is coming out June 13th. Ballerina is coming out June 6th. The Phoenician Scheme is coming out May 30th. Just FYI. And Mission Impossible is coming out May 23rd. And Lilo and Stitch is coming out May 23rd. That's insane that those two are going to go up against each other. But I promised you guys I would mention 28 Years Later, the Danny Boyle sequel.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for this
28 days.
So there was 28 days 28 weeks, and now we're at 28 years.
28 years.
I didn't realize it was a sequel. I thought maybe it was like.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
It's going to be so
you
epic.
didn't know that there was really?
No, I knew that there was. I knew there was a 28 days later and a 28 weeks later, but I just did not.
Oh my God. And now, so Aaron Taylor Johnson everyone's trying to make him a star. I wish he was a bigger star. He was in that Marvel movie, Vanessa, that just like kind of tanked.
Yeah.
Called
that was Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter.
Woof.
Yeah. But I love him. We've had major
he was in
debates.
Nosferatu this year. Nosferatu.
Yeah, but he was like a very supporting role in that. I'm a big Aaron Taylor Johnson fan.
As am I.
We've had
By the
debates.
way, my generation, Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging. That was like an MTV movie that came out.
Oh, that's so interesting.
2008.
Well, I love him from Kick-Ass.
Yes.
Where he was just a nerd.
Yes.
And then he transformed into Kraven the Hunter, and now he's like a major babe with like huge muscles. But I remember him being just like a dork, which I loved. And we've had major debates with a certain filmmaker, Vanessa, who thinks he's just a pretty boy now. But I'm like, no, he's like, there's a dork underneath there, and he's a great actor.
Pretty.
Yeah.
And he is a good actor.
Yeah.
And I think he can play anything.
Two things can be true.
Two things can be true.
Yeah. So tell me why you guys are excited about 28 Years Later, which is like Danny Boyle is masterful, as we all know.
I have been waiting for this sequel for the longest time. I saw 28 Days Later, loved it. 28 Weeks Later was a little more actiony.
Okay.
And this one just looks like it's the perfect mix of both. Like the UK is still quarantined, but the whole rest of the world has gone on and like figured out how to like live around zombies. But except the UK for some reason where they're like isolated, and it just looks crazy. And is it Cillian or is it Killian? Cillian Murphy, who was in the first movie.
Love him.
He's back for this one. But
is he?
But we don't know what role he's playing in it. And a couple of the zombies in the trailer look like him. So you're like, what could be going on?
I love that.
And it's reported to be like part of a trilogy I think he's making. So we're going to get a lot more 28-year franchise movies.
And Ray Fiennes is in it, who we also always love, and Jodie Comer. So it's great cast.
Jack O'Connell, who's having a really amazing year. He was
Jack O'Connell. Sinners. We didn't even mention Sinners, which is like one of the few original films out in these summer months. I guess we're including May in the summer months now. And Jack O'Connell had like a real star turn in that, apparently. But I haven't seen it yet. Okay. Moving on. June 27th, F1. Are we here for it? Are we ready?
I haven't seen anything for it, but
no trailer?
No.
Oh man.
I'm coming into this one blind.
You got to watch the trailer. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday. This is like such a small bone to pick, but because it's Brad Pitt and he's great.
Yeah.
But F1 is a young man's sport.
It's a young man's sport. This is the same premise as Top Gun 2, where like they bring in the old dog to drive the car or fly the plane. And it's like, of course that would never happen in real life, but we only have so many like actual movie stars anymore. And they're all like over 45 years old. And so,
he looks great. And I don't know how much younger he's really playing, but it's like 30 years after, it's supposed to be 30 years after he had gotten into some accident.
Yes.
So I guess he's in his 50s.
Okay.
But the fun of Formula One is these young guys. The stakes are like so high. They're so young. Stakes are high.
Yeah.
They have access to all this money, all these beautiful women.
Yeah.
And they could die driving the car. And that's awesome.
Totally. And it's literally like a 20-year-old, like 20-year-olds are driving these F1 cars. They're babies. They're children. They probably don't even know who Brad Pitt is. Okay.
Right.
True.
It is so stunning to me that the franchises still need to like hook on to someone like Brad Pitt in order to make this work, because F1 is such a popular sport now through the Netflix series. Everyone's obsessed with it. I'm like, couldn't we launch a few young stars or a young star with this?
That's how I feel about it. It's not to put down Brad Pitt, because I'm sure the movie will be excellent, and it just feels like a stretch and could have done something fun and original.
I think personally that because it's so big, again, almost like a Lilo and Stitch internationally, that they need the gateway celebrity to bring the people to the box office.
That's right.
Right.
So we need it.
It's the creative issue we're running into making all of our movies now, which is we have a great script, we have a great filmmaker, we want to go make this movie, but you need Gerard Butler or you need Brad Pitt, and like great actors, they're unavailable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it starts becoming this hard thing where we're catering to people instead of introducing them to new talent.
Right.
And that's where I think, like, we're talking about this negatively, but people have been getting really creative with marketing, and Thunderbolts is a great example of that.
Totally.
It's like anchored Florence Pugh around actors that we in the industry know who they are, but the rest of the world maybe doesn't or is familiar.
Right.
And I think that's what we should be doing.
Totally. And then we were talking about filmmakers like Sean Baker, who like just go all in on like discovering someone and like making Mikey Madison a star. Mikey Madison?
Yeah, Mikey Madison. Yeah.
Madison. Anyways, and I love that. You know, like I want more filmmakers to just be like, well, I'll make my movie for $6 million and I'm going to make this girl a star. She's going to win an Oscar. And now she's the next Julia Roberts, or she should be if she's smart.
Right.
You know what I mean? She may just go make another obscure film, which I heard she is, but like she should also make a big thing with the studio that's like on her back, you know?
Like get into a Marvel movie while she can.
Totally. Like be the next Sandra Bullock, be the next Julia Roberts, you know, like you have all the skill to do it.
Try and get in the Batman 2 of some sorts. This way it's like you're anchored to a big franchise.
Or like go make like My Best Friend's Wedding, you know?
Yeah.
So make those hot again, you know?
Cool.
Totally. We're big on rom-coms.
Mikey, we've got your strategy.
We love you, Mikey.
Who directed F1?
Oh, it's the same Joseph Krasinski. He is the guy who did Top Gun too.
Oh,
yeah. It's literally the same formula.
Tron.
Yeah.
Oh,
the guy's no joke.
On Variety, they mentioned that one might be an early. It's getting early Oscar buzz.
Really?
That one and Sinners, they're saying could be shortlisted for Best Picture. Again, very early predictions, but they're saying those are the two.
I'm very dubious about that.
But I mean, it's a comeback story. You can keep it really simple, and if the dialogue is smart and it feels really fun, and someone we were talking to earlier today was like, if there are a lot of cars and the car scenes are great.
Yeah, just like I watch Formula One for those car scenes.
Yeah.
We're going to mention Superman as like another reboot. This one seems a little bit more earnest than like what we've been seeing with Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts. So I'm curious if it works. I think there's like a lot riding on it, and they've like put in a brand new star, David Cornsweet. Cornsweet.
Oh.
He was in that show, The Politician, which was the Ryan Murphy show on Netflix.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's definitely not a movie star, so it's really cool that they've put in an actor who has been on the rise and maybe is not as recognizable, but is talented.
Yeah. I think like Bond, Supermen tend to get like pigeonholed into that role. It was like Christopher Reeves could never play anything else but Superman. And I think like, in the same way, like Henry Cavill is sort of like, he always sort of plays a version of Superman type of guy. So it is like, it's a risk, but also, hopefully we'll have another great new star in our midst.
Like that they're not connecting DC movies anymore.
Yeah.
Like we don't need 17 movies to watch like the team up movie. Like
totally
go back to making like one-off movies that can be original.
Yeah.
And you can just have a good time at the movies.
Yeah.
And move on.
So prefer that. It's the reason I don't watch a lot of these movies because they're so interconnected. And I'm like, I just want to watch one movie and one story.
It got too bloated.
Yeah.
And I think overcrowded.
Yeah.
And like, again, that's why the Dark Universe didn't take off. Cause like, I don't need like Frankenstein to team up with like Count Dracula. Like I just want to go watch their one-off movies.
Totally. Next movie is Eddington, which is not a wide release, but is an Ari Aster film, A24 release. Just a really, really inventive filmmaker. And stars Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal and just a lot of other cool cats. Austin Butler. Everyone wants to work with Ari Aster. Like Ari Aster is like one of these filmmakers who can like just pick up the phone and everyone will drop everything and work with him. So
and that trailer is like crazy.
Yeah, Vanessa, describe what the movie is. It looks very bizarre.
So here's the thing. I don't think any of us really fully know what the premise is. They haven't released it.
Yeah.
But I think there's something, it's loosely about a standoff between a sheriff in a small town and a mayor in Mexico. But what we see in the trailer, and I think for everyone, it is worth going to watch. It's like clips of social media of like the sheriff and then clips of violence. And it's just cut together in this very crazy way. And I think this is kind of what we were talking about, just really inventive marketing, bringing people into stories that obviously this is a totally original idea, but just utilizing like what they have, which is something really original and crazy and making the audience wonder what could possibly be. And I think the internet blew up about it.
Yeah. I think Ari Aster is one of these filmmakers that like takes big swings. He is the filmmaker behind Midsommar and what was the other one?
Hereditary. And Beau is Afraid.
And then sometimes it doesn't work like in Beau is Afraid. So I'm curious about this, and he's just a filmmaker that people are very interested in. He sort of worked his way. He is one of these horror auteurs who is like working his way into other genres. So anyways, it's very interesting, curious how that movie is. And it went to Cannes, I believe. Eddington did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. So next one, just worth mentioning is Fantastic Four. Speaking of reinventions of like old franchise movies, this one stars Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby. Within the industry, guys, Pedro Pascal is like the hottest thing, should be a huge star. I think like there are a lot of like studios behind him wanting to make him a star. He was in Gladiator 2 last year, had a smaller part, but like made the most of it. We talked to Doug Wick about him, just couldn't say enough like wonderful things. I think people love to work with Pedro Pascal. I think he just got killed off in the HBO series
The Last of Us. It was sad.
That's partially probably because he's becoming such a big star and is getting every offer. And so let's hope Pedro Pascal like lands the plane on this one. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Good sense of humor.
Yeah, I think they're not taking it so seriously, which again, I really like. And I think this one takes place on like a different universe or multiverse. Like they're in a different place. So like they're going to make it to the one where all the other superheroes are. But for now, you don't need to know like 17 years of backstory.
Got it.
Which I like.
The overview is set against the vibrant backdrop of a 1960s inspired retro futuristic world.
I love that.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And honestly,
how lucky are these studios that they can just create
like who came up with that line? Jesus Christ. Okay.
But like Chris Evans and who else? Robert Downey Jr. and a whole bunch of other ones.
Did they have? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like this could be the movie that like now he's going to be in all these other Marvel movies. Totally. So now he'll get his Oscar nomination within like 3 years.
Yeah, definitely. That's my prediction. You heard it here first.
That's the hope.
By the way, all of Hollywood is saying that, so we're not the first. Okay, so the next one I'm pretty excited to talk about, let's jump into August, is the Naked Gun reboot. Looks so good.
So good.
And by the way, guys, I didn't even like the original Naked Guns. I thought they were so dumb. But Akiva Schaffer, who is a member of the Lonely Island like SNL crew, directed it, and it looks so clever.
Yeah.
I love it. So Liam Neeson.
I can imagine that Akiva had a take on it and then went to the studio. I don't think anyone was trying to remake.
I'm curious. I am curious about that. It's like they're trying to remake everything, so why not this? But Vanessa, I'd be curious if like Akiva Schaffer was like, I think I could redo this in a very funny way.
Yeah, and just pitched it to Paramount.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting too because I just recently heard that they are rebooting the Scary Movie franchise. And so it's interesting that we're kind of going back into those parodies that are so slapstick.
Yeah.
Where like anything could happen at any moment.
Totally.
Because I haven't seen any comedies like that. It feels like
I know
it kind of has just kind of vanished, that genre.
No, it's so true. So this will be interesting. It feels like it could work.
Yeah.
Stars Liam Neeson as the son of
oh my God, he was in Airplane. Yes, no. Leslie Nielsen. And then Pamela Anderson is also starring, and Paul Walter Hauser is also starring in it. And I'm a huge Paul Walter Hauser fan. By the way, should we be talking about Paul Walter Hauser for 2 more? Is that a wild idea?
A wild idea.
Sidebar. I've just noticed he's starring in 3 movies this summer.
I do like the Pamela Anderson renaissance that she's been having.
Me too.
I think it's so interesting because I just remember growing up how she was perceived. And now to see her getting like all this attention for The Last Showgirl. Now is riding it into roles like the Naked Gun reboot. Like, good for you.
I know. Good for you. Like she's really, and I think she went to the Met Ball last night. Like she's really being embraced by the community. So I'm very supportive. Although I was one of the few people who didn't think she deserved a Oscar nom for The Last Showgirl. I thought like it was a good performance, but like not a great performance. I just think it was like seeing her in that performance was cool.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, let's bring her back. That's very, very cool. Awesome. And her whole thing of like not wearing makeup and like, she's just like embracing her natural self now. Mm-hmm. I think that's very cool.
I agree.
Okay. One other movie we're going to mention is Weapons, which is another scary movie coming out in August.
So I read the script for this one.
Oh, why?
Yeah, because like the trailer really hooked me.
Oh my God. So you went online and read the script?
Oh, I was in the depths of the internet.
Holy cannoli.
I found it posted on Reddit. And I did read it because me and my sister have both been like, this looks terrifying.
Oh my God.
The teaser trailer was so scary.
Oh my God.
I don't like
because it feels real. It's like very, very,
I don't like how the kids are running.
Oh.
I'm like a little freaked out by that. Very Children of the Corn.
Oh my God. Children of the Corn.
But terrifying, looks so good. And the regular trailer too, it's just, there's so much mystery and intrigue behind it. It feels like it's picking up on like the long legs. Vibe.
Totally. I agree with you. I feel like it's another like auteur horror film. First of all, it stars Josh Brolin and Julia Garner, who are both like excellent actors. So it like kind of takes it up a notch from like your standard horror film. And
the director directed Barbarian.
And the director directed Barbarian,
which was wild.
So wild.
Yeah,
it's one of the few horror movies I saw like a couple years ago, and it freaked me the F out.
Yeah. That twist in the middle of the movie. I was just like,
good God.
Oh, okay. We're going there.
I had to stop. Stop watching it. It was so good. And there's a little bit of like adolescence vibes, you know, that show from Netflix where you're just like, oh my God, these kids, what's happening? And so it looks really good.
The director described it as the which was the one that Tom Cruise was in from years ago?
Magnolia?
Yes.
Oh.
The director said that this movie is like the Magnolia of horror movies. Oh. So you're going to be getting a whole bunch of different perspectives, angles that all kind of
come together.
Yes. And he said that the main focus is not the kids going missing. He's like, you'll see that there's so much else kind of, that's just a part of the story.
Oh my.
Which I thought was so interesting.
Okay, now I'm like so much more intrigued.
Yeah.
I love a Paul Thomas Anderson reference anytime. So like that, I respect the game. Okay, amazing.
Under Biden, Americans' cost of living skyrocketed. Food, housing, auto insurance. Lawsuit abuse is a big reason everything's more expensive today. Frivolous lawsuits cost working Americans over $4,000 a year in hidden taxes. President Trump understands the problem. That's why he supports loser pays legislation to stop lawsuit abuse and put thousands back in the pockets of hardworking Americans. It's time to make America affordable again. It's time to support the president's plan.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. Imagine waking up to find your bank account drained, bills for loans you never took out, a warrant for your arrest, all because someone stole your identity. Hackers aren't waiting. Why are you? That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Your personal data is a goldmine for hackers, and Aura helps lock it down. Aura monitors the dark web, blocks data brokers from selling your information, includes a VPN for private browsing, and a password manager to secure your accounts before criminals break in. For a limited time, Aura is offering our listeners a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and start protecting yourself and your loved ones. That's aura.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.
Okay, guys. So that takes us through August. There's also Freakier Friday coming out, which is the Freaky Friday.
I'm like
reboot.
Scared that all these movies are like hyping my or like tapping on my like millennial nostalgia. Like when did I become old? Like totally. I hate that for me.
No,
like,
I don't like it for you either because you're not old. And if you're old, then I'm hella old. Okay.
It just feels like everything is just kind of like from when I was young is just coming back in different ways. And I'm like, oh God.
Well, like the truth about Freaky Friday is I remember the Jodie Foster Freaky Friday, which was like an old movie when I was growing up, but like I would rent it at the video store. And then the Lindsay Lohan Freaky Friday was like a reboot of that Freaky Friday. And
I love that one.
And now Lindsay Lohan is like gone to like the bottom and now she's back and now we're rebooting her Freaky Friday.
Yeah, I think that similar to like, I don't know, a Naked Gun with like a Pamela Anderson, but she used The Last Showgirl.
Yeah.
I think this is the vehicle that they're using to bring Lindsay Lohan back mainstream. And if they can trust that this movie does well, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Lindsay Lohan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might be right.
In my opinion.
feel like that's a really good theory.
Yeah.
She's already done a couple of like Netflix
movies.
Holiday movies, which is always like the soft launch for like an actress trying to come back into the mix.
Show that she can show up on time, get rid of her old image.
Yeah. Have you guys seen any of those holiday movies?
They're cute.
Oh, they're cute.
Yeah.
I have not.
I've seen clips. She looks great.
Like she's had some great work done.
She's had a great work. But she's also, there's something about Lindsay Lohan that will forever be compelling. And I just think she's just like, she has that aura and she has that presence on screen. So even if it's a silly, corny movie, and even if she has like a slight accent, I think it works.
You mean like a continental accent?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's
like
gone continental.
She suddenly has like
she moved to Dubai.
Okay.
And ever since she moved to Dubai, her accent is like you can't pinpoint it.
I get that. There are people who, when they're speaking to people who English is not their first language, they kind of adapt.
Totally. I have friends who do that.
And I think
like adjust their. It's like Madonna was doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Again, she'll get a good publicist after this, or she already has a really good publicist. She's like really hard to book for anything.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she's like really in demand.
That is so wild.
Because again, she's tapping on the millennial nostalgia and now she's coming back.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think people want to see her succeed in a way that she didn't get to 20 years ago.
I mean, Mean Girls is one of my all-time favorites.
Totally
honestly.
agree.
And then if you're your age, isn't it Parent Trap? Like you guys are Parent Trap.
I literally rewatched Parent Trap over the weekend and I was like, this is unbelievable that this little girl is so talented. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The performances she gives,
wild.
Crazy.
Well, you know the story of like one of the studio heads thought that she had a sister. like didn't realize it was her playing both roles and thought that, and she was like, well, you should have paid me for 2 roles, like she was such a little pissant in a good way. What else did we love her in? I'm just trying to remember.
Mean Girls, obviously. What else was the other one?
Herbie Fully Loaded.
Yeah, but like, did that really?
That was a movie.
Work? Yeah, that was a movie.
I think that movie like did. I mean, it was like
she rose fast and then burnt out quickly. I feel like that was what happened with her.
I think the media cycle at that time was like latched on to like how big of a train wreck could you be type of like
totally. It was like her and Paris Hilton and all the girls, Britney Spears going.
She did a lot of like Disney when it was like Freaky Friday, Confessions of a Drama Queen, Herbie Fully Loaded, and kind of like pivoted out and did that rom-com Just My Luck, and she did Georgia Rule.
And
are you reading from something, or are you just getting?
I'm looking. I'm looking at her like
Country
how
Home
it all
Companion
kind of
was supposed to be like a big breakout role for her, but again, because of what she was going through at the time,
all
the bad publicity,
all that.
So I really think that the Lindsay Lohan Renaissance could be upon us.
Let's do it.
Let's go. She is talented. She is very talented.
Yeah.
So let's hope for her. All right, guys, that was a really fun summer preview that we pulled out of our asses, and I think we did a pretty good job. Josh, you can cut that.
What do you think your movie of the summer is? Mine is Lilo and Stitch. I think that one's gonna make like $1 billion.
Or like, what's the one you're gonna go to theaters for?
Well, I'm kind of psyched for F1 or Naked Gun.
Yeah.
That's
after
weird.
everything
that's a weird call for me.
I think that makes a lot of sense though.
Even though I'm going to see F1 on Apple like 3 weeks later?
I think
presumably
with car engines and Brad Pitt, you want to see that on a big screen.
I'm all into F1. I watch the series. I follow Lando. I follow Max Verstappen. I know all the guys. Lewis is getting too cocky. I know it. So I'm into it, you know?
You're locked in.
Yeah. What about you, Vanessa?
Well, I still haven't seen Sinners, so I'm putting that at the top of my list.
Yeah, we have to go see Sinners, but I don't truly consider that a summer film.
It's not a summer. Yeah, I think it might continue into summer, but maybe for me, it's How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay. I don't even feel like you're really committed to that. You just said
I'm not committed to that.
I feel like there's 2 categories, like the want to see versus like the will be the biggest one.
The one you will go see. My husband will go.
Like Weapons is the one I think like I want to see more than anything this summer.
Yeah.
But I believe that Lilo and Stitch will be the movie.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm most curious about F1, even though it's an original story, even though it's a piece of IP. It's not like something we've seen a million times.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, Final Destination or Thunderbolts is another Marvel movie. Like I kind of understand what that is going to be.
Yeah.
I feel like is going to feel entirely original.
I think I have to withhold my review of what I think the top film of the summer is going to be. I have to learn a little bit more about like the movies in the summer, and then I'll make my call, guys. So just don't hold your breath on that.
Yeah, we're waiting.
All right, guys, that was so much fun. Andrew, you're the best. I love having you like just aboard.
This was fun.
Voicing your opinions.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
You're always sitting there anyways. You got.
I know. It's like, let's just hand him a mic.
Well, this was great. Thank you for having me.
So fun. Hey, Andrew, will you do the wrap up? I feel like you're going to like teach us a thing or two.
I love it. I can't wait. Okay. So there's merch.
StayGoldFeatures.com.
Hit the merch tab.
It's been a few weeks since any of you have purchased a sweatshirt.
Yeah. Get your sweatshirts. It's going to be cold at night. It's the summer coming up.
That's right.
Yeah.
By the lake.
Exactly.
Gets a little chilly by the beach.
Exactly. Yeah. So make sure you get your merch. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, rate, review wherever you get this podcast.
Yes.
We love reading your reviews. They make us so happy when we get 5 stars. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And check us out on YouTube. If you want to listen on YouTube, all our episodes are up there.
Okay, cool.
And that's everything.
And don't forget to stay gold.
Stay gold.
Stay gold, everybody.
Okay. Bye, guys. Love you.
Under Biden, Americans' cost of living skyrocketed. Food, housing, auto insurance. Lawsuit abuse is a big reason everything's more expensive today. Frivolous lawsuits cost working Americans over $4,000 a year in hidden taxes. President Trump understands the problem. That's why he supports loser pays legislation to stop lawsuit abuse and put thousands back in the pockets of hardworking Americans. It's time to make America affordable again. It's time to support the president's plan.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. Imagine waking up to find your bank account drained, bills for loans you never took out, a warrant for your arrest, all because someone stole your identity. Hackers aren't waiting. Why are you? That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Your personal data is a goldmine for hackers, and Aura helps lock it down. Aura monitors the dark web, blocks data brokers from selling your information, includes a VPN for private browsing, and a password manager to secure your accounts before criminals break in. For a limited time, Aura is offering our listeners a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and start protecting yourself and your loved ones. That's AURA.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.